Hello and welcome back, everyone. We are now moving on to my favorite character of the beta, Zato, the puppet master. He comes with his shadow, Eddie, which you can control pretty freely. I was very surprised all the things you could do. This was my first puppet character. I've seen puppet characters in other games, like Under Night with Chaos, Ice Climbers in Smash, things like that, right? But they never really caught my eye. But this guy looks cool, he plays cool, and he ended up being one of my favorite characters of the entire beta. So let's move on to, I guess, the mindset, right? Because this is a complex archetype. He's one of the hardest characters to play in the game, hands down. So let's talk about first the mindset that you want going into your matches. First of all, you need to understand, before we even move on to Eddie, what Zato can do on his own. Okay, he actually comes loaded with a full kit. He is not missing anything. That is a complete character with or without Eddie. So let's talk about one of his most prominent tools, and I'm sure if you've seen No Kami and other Zato players, you're going to notice a couple things right out the gate. First of all, he has a very good down heavy. I'm going to do it here later into these matches, but his down heavy is excellent. If they try to jump, if you use it in neutral and they try to jump you, they can get hit in those pre-jump frames, right? If they're coming down from above, since he kind of morphs Eddie into an anti-air tool, it's very, very good in that way as well. And he really doesn't stop there. So even when he gets in the air, you wouldn't think a character that had all these strengths with a puppet would have these attributes, but he also has really good air-to-airs. His jump punch is excellent. His jump slash is excellent. His jump dust is excellent. Those are all great air-to-air tools. There's jump dust right there. And the great thing about that is, now that we control the skies, our opponent really gets grounded. And that's before we even talk about Eddie. I mean, yeah, Eddie. And you've already seen the frog a couple times from Eddie, right? So yeah, people really just can't jump on Zato. It's kind of nuts. So he can really get in control of the game once he establishes himself in the air. So let's go to his pokes. Yeah, we just saw one there with down slash. So there we go. That was such a good round. So anyway, I'm gonna try and get a see if I can get emphasis on this somewhere. But his down kick, his crouch kick is actually phenomenal. It has a little extended hitbox that is just really, really good for poking people in neutral. You can really start to do down kick and your dust attacks to really enforce a mix up that way. You can do down kick and then move in to get in position for his overhead command normal. There's just a bunch of different things he can do up close. And you know, starting out, when the full version of this game comes out, no one's going to be expecting Zato to have all these tools, but it's all there. We just saw jump slash in the jump heavy slash. Great jump in tools too. He really has a complete kit. But let's move into Eddie, because that's where things get interesting. So you're going to see me do the Toad a lot, right? It's really, really good. It catches people jumping at you. It catches people who are trying to jump out of your pressure. It's a combo tool that does a bunch of damage. The Toad's pretty straightforward. We saw it a lot in the starter guides when they showed off some footage. It's pretty self-explanatory why that one's so good. I want to talk about the more interesting, the one that sort of became more interesting as I look now at this footage. So oppose, and that's the one where we kind of like create like a meat shield with Eddie, right? There it is right there. So what makes oppose so good is there are a lot of times in neutral, right? Neutral is like the hardest question, right? In fighting games, right? Like, what do you do? Well, oppose basically poses a question. It says, hey, are you gonna run into this, or are you gonna let me kind of set up what I want to do? If they don't answer that question very, very quickly, you're gonna get a lot of pressure off for free. Let's move on to the next match. You're gonna see me do it more and more, and then we'll talk about some of the other moves too. Alright, so in the Giovanna matchup, we're going to have a lot of pressure on us, right? So let's stop talking so much about the theory of this guy, and let's get into realistically what's going to be happening in these matches. So right out of the gate where I left off, you want to really, really use oppose. It's gonna establish the tempo no matter what phase of the match you're at, honestly. So we opened there by jumping back and doing an air-to-air, which was good, but obviously it wasn't the best option. We got hit. If we had simply done our oppose there, right, we would have got a lot of value. because Giovanna has to do something. If she goes around it, she runs into our Andy, right? If she throws her body out with her little lunge move, the like looks like a cannon drill, yeah, that's what I call it. If she does cannon drill, then we can properly respond. She may actually get hit off of a pose. And you can kind of do this in all your matchups, even in matchups where the character has really good normals like Ram. Them spending time just getting rid of Eddie or going around Eddie even with their big normals is gonna buy you a lot of value. Because again, Zato is a full character, so if they choose to deal with Eddie as opposed to you, right, you're just gonna get so much return. It's gonna be insane. We're getting ran over on here, but we are not out of it just yet. Toad. Okay, so that's another thing actually. I wanted to talk about that. So you'll see that with Eddie, you can actually recall him after you've put him out on the field, and he'll recall and recharge pretty darn quickly. I'm pretty sure that's gonna get nerfed because you can kind of halfway commit, throw out 2 different commands with Eddie, and then just kind of call him back, and then he's back in an instant. The opponent doesn't really have much time to respond to this because they don't know you're gonna do it. But when you play this way, understand you are not moving for like half a second, and the opponent may not be looking at Eddie, but they're definitely looking at you. So if you don't lock them down properly or establish pressure with something like a pose, you're probably going to get hit before you can get the recharge off the way you want. So just make sure you properly just space yourself before you do the recharge. That's going to be huge because if they don't nerf it, we're going to be getting so much value off Eddie. It's going to be insane. So you can kind of rotate your spells with Eddie, right? You can kind of throw out the spikes, then recall him, see how they respond, throw out a pose, recall him, see how they respond, and you can just continue to do this over and over. Oh man, what a match. There's so much to talk about with this character. Let's move on to the next one though. Alright, right into it on this next one. So now we're messing with a Ram, right? We've had the liberty of having the range advantage, but now it's time for that to take a nap. So you would think Zato couldn't do anything, right? Well, that's where you're wrong, man. Like I said before, jump slash, jump heavy slash, great all-ins. Flight also gives us a ton of variance in the air. So even with someone, against someone like Ram, who has a very good down heavy, right, and anti-air tools, she can't really determine our trajectory. And this is where we get to play a little bit differently. So you can see, right, I'm trying to stay in my far slash range, but I'm trying to make sure that we at least have Eddie putting out some kind of pressure. If I can't do that, I'm jumping. And this is a really good strategy because Ram's one of the characters in the game that can't really contest both the ground and the air at the same time. Oh my gosh, she's coming in hot. We blocked this though. And see, she can't really lock us down. Flight's actually super tricky. And there we have it. So both of his overdrives actually recharge Eddie. They may not have invincibility on him, so he doesn't have a true reversal, unfortunately. But if you have your tension built up, you can always have Eddie out. Oh, thank God. Good response by me. And you see, we're starting to put the pressure on her. She just can't, he can't lock us down and she can't get away. That's when you know you're playing Zato correctly. And we're playing kind of with the pseudo rushdown style. I wouldn't say he has the full kit for a full rushdown, but we're playing like a pseudo rushdown style where we're constantly moving, being annoying. And later on, I think we start using our overhead command normal too. There we go. So we do spikes, right? We could have recalled Eddie there, but we decided to go forward. We wait for Eddie to come back. She's putting the pressure on me. So right there, we could have also recalled Eddie too. And so she's jumping, so she's trying to get a feel for what I want to do. And we're just going to chase her, because we know we're not afraid of Ram. If Ram's playing like this, yeah, if Ram's playing like this, we're good. Oh my gosh, she got me with both of those. There we go, high jump. We still go into flight. So we do Toad there, and Toad does not beat button. Usually people try to jump out though. So you think of Toad as a way to beat button? And then think of a pose as a... Yeah, no, I'm sorry. Toad to beat jumps, opposed to beat buttons. Yes, sir. There we go. All right, so it got a little scrambly there, but let's see if we can pull it back here. There's that cross. He's so good in the air. It's actually insane. There's that oppose, the counter button. She can't jump in, you see? Like it just, and we should just do this over and over. Because we don't need Eddie. We're getting so much value off the oppose, right? She can't just press, but that's her neutral. Just press, right? What does she got to lose? Even if it's on block, people are not gonna hit her. She's across the screen. Okay, we got her in the corner. There's the recall. See, we recall after we push her in corner. Pose the question with the pose. We keep Eddie out with the overdrive. This is Zato. There we go. And then, if you're familiar with negative edge, you can use it to make sure Eddie doesn't do certain attacks until certain timings. And that's why she got hit there. She didn't know, or she's not familiar with the kind of pressure Eddie can put down. And that's something that I'd have to talk about in a separate video. But Zato has a ridiculous amount of pressure on block. He has a command normal overhead, dust attacks, right, overhead low. What are they going to do to you? So much to think about when you play against this character. Now we're really coming online. I hope you guys were able to see it there. Let's keep it moving. All right, so now we got that good mid-level gameplay, level 54, level 62. So by this point, I have played a ridiculous amount of Zato games. I love the character so much. So let's see how I've developed now. Let's just see what I do and what I don't do. So what you're gonna start seeing now is a lot more of invite hell. That move's actually OD. If you ever get a good knockdown with crouching dust on your opponent, get that sweep off, you can definitely do that move, and I believe you can get plus frames as they get up. It's actually kind of nutty. There's that jump dust, because we know that Soul definitely likes to either go under or go above. We can't really cover the vortex, we can definitely cover the bringer. And there's the recall that we talked about. Right, we recalled a little bit too close, right? But if you get a straight hit with Eddie, as you approach, definitely recall and get more value out of him that way. There's an invite hell again. Super good move. Somewhat safe. It answers one of our neutral questions, but it's nowhere near as good as opposed. So I got slapped up there. If I had just opposed, he couldn't jump in on me like that. And there we go. We get spikes out. And even there, we could have did oppose. Oppose. If there's anything you can get from this video, guys, you got to use oppose. It's actually ridiculously good. You can convert off of it. It does use a lot of his bar, but you could even just throw out the oppose as you play your matches and then immediately recall it, because people are going to get familiar with the problem of oppose. There we go. That was excellent Eddie control by me there. There we go. We kind of hold our ground, right? We don't go into a full retreat. No reason to. There's the recall. We're a little close, though. There we go. If we simply opposed instead. So spikes are nice, right? Spikes are really, really nice because they set up for a lot of damage, very hit confirmable, but the opponent can very easily jump over them, even just on reaction, or just people just typically are jumping when they're in the corner. Not a very good move to do in a situation like that. Oppose is, again, definitely the move. That or Toad. Because Toad at least guarantees they can't just jump in on you for free, right? Oh, we catch a midair, drop the combo, bait the DP, and there you go. Dang, that was quick. All right, yeah, we're getting proficient with it. I got more of that late game footage for you. Let's keep it going. All right. Now we got a high level, quote unquote, Andy. You guys' aim is actually Andy. So yeah, there's that oppose. Excellent tool to establish yourself, because you see the Geo just kind of freeze up, right? You don't have to know much about Zato to know that move is a problem. You can't go low, you can't go high, you have to wait, right? But if we recall the oppose, then what do? I can just oppose again. So it really establishes a nuisance, and it's just kind of broken, honestly. They may nerf this, guys. I'm telling y'all, it feels way too good. I don't know what you're supposed to do if you don't have a projectile, of course. If I'm Kai, right, I can just projectile from across the screen. We still lose the round somehow, but that's okay. Watch us pick this up. Watch us pick this up. I don't remember if I do, but I'm sure I'm nuts, so it doesn't matter. Okay, okay. Counter. Okay. Oh, I got those. Oh, we could have got more combos. I'm kind of nuts though. There's definitely a combo we could have done there. Okay. Okay. Oh, that's a great recall. Those are the kind of recalls I'm talking about, right? Because you've conditioned them to expect more block stun they're going to be in. Then you just recall, then get the block stun, right? Now you've somehow double, tripled your pressure. Okay, we got to back up here. Yeah, that was a little bit dangerous. We could have pressed a pose. We got tons of bar. It's time to get aggressive. Let's go, spike. We should be doing our overhead more, or at least do our kicks more, right? Because from our kicks, we can do overhead dust, low dust. Right, or dust sweep, rather. Okay, though, we get Eddie behind her. Pose the question, what do you do? Are you going to give me another turn? Right? If she tries to jump, she gets hit. If she presses, she gets hit. It's such a good tool.
What an answer.
The only way to beat Eddie is to hit Eddie almost, and that just opens the doors for Zato. He can ask the opponent so many questions in neutral, right? Because again, neutral's about not having that much control. So if you can basically ask questions in neutral that don't involve you committing your life bar to something, right? Low risk, medium reward, if you will. The more of those kind of tools you have in neutral, man, the better. And Eddie really opens the gate. Eddie's almost the epitome of that, right? There we go. Now we're using our dust. There we go. We're using our dust. Yeah, his kick, standing kick, and crouch kick, S tier. Oh, there's that oppose. Oh, really good by her. They can get rid of Eddie with yellow roaming cancel. I think burst as well. There we go. Now we recall way too close. We got away with it, though. We got away with it. Okay. 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 All right. All right. All right. Goodbye.
I'm trying to ult. Ult. Okay.
All right, we got it. There's that jump slash. It's so good, guys. They could have been jump heavy slash. They could have been jump dust. They could have been jump punch. Excellent options. All fantastic. Zato's the best. All right, so now we're playing against the Millia, right? You would think against a Rushdown character, Zato would have a problem, but you get that much more freedom to just do whatever you want. It's kind of insane. As long as you got to defend yourself properly, you're pretty much free to do whatever you want, right? Because in order for them to target Eddie, they have to really they really have to make themselves vulnerable, ultimately. So you really get to just press things, and you're going to see me do it here. One thing I don't do nearly enough is oppose. But another thing we could be doing too, there we go, is moving, advancing with low kick and advancing with down heavy, or down kick and down heavy. There we go. We got Eddie right there at our back. Excellent toe by me. We got tons of bar, right? So in these situations, you just keep going. And there's that pierce, right? Oh my God. There is a gap between the pierce command, but that's okay. That's kind of a bait, honestly. You want to press buttons as it ends and in between to catch responses. There's that down heavy. And so the problem with playing against characters like Millia, or the problem for Millia is like, how is she going to get to me when Eddie's available? Even if Eddie's, look at that. Look at the hitbox on that, guys. There we go. What is she supposed to do? There's the oppose. So that was very good instinct. We finally had good instincts there. We should just be throwing out oppose. So good. And if you're ever not confident in your ability to anti-air, jump P, man. Jump P. There's that oppose again. Okay, we're starting to pick up on it, the value of that move. Okay, what do we got? What do we got? What do we got? What do we got? Oh, that burst was really bad. Don't burst there like that. Yo! Down heavy.
Yo!
Down heavy, guys. Down heavy. Oh, I love this character. I love this game, because only this game would make a character that can control a puppet, give it all these different things. The way it works is just so good. And then I can I can play Rushdown. I don't have to play back. And so I've taken my own words right out of my own mouth. I absolutely love this character then. I'm going to love this character on full release. I don't think they can nerf this man to the ground, even if they tried. His design is phenomenal. And yeah, I'm going to probably ride him out during the full version of the game. We'll have to see. But thank you guys so much for watching. We'll have tons of other content up on the screen here in a second. If you haven't subscribed already, you're definitely going to want to, because I'm going in on the content as soon as this game comes out. All right. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.